have you ever had a game in Apex Legends where you felt like you were really struggling to contribute, like you were late to the fight, and then your damage wasn't that high, and you definitely weren't the one doing any of the kills? Yeah, I know the feeling, it sucks. Here's the thing. You never know when the tides are going to change and you're going to be called upon to rise up like the legend you are and clutch. Our story begins at Terraformer, where I was late to the fight and compensating for my lack of aim with some grenades. After using 4 whole grenades for 55 damage, I decided to up the ante on the next one. But instead of cracking the other squad, I went with the zestier choice of a self-stun. Go ahead and roast me in the comments, I've earned it. Dazed and confused, I followed up my attack with even more grenades that missed by a country mile. As my squad pushed the fight, I singled out another Bangalore for a 1v1. Surely I can handle that. No, clearly not. See, this is what I'm talking about. We had wiped 2 teams, but all I had to my name was 1 kill, a wasted ultimate, and 100 damage. Meanwhile, Crypto, whose back was probably hurting from carrying me so far, was begging for shield. I relinquished part of my inventory, partially because I wanted to hold a battery, but also to prove that I wasn't your run-of-the-mill loot goblin, but a team player. Actually, speaking of loot, I opened up a shiny loot tick and was delighted by the sight of a golden flatline! Sorry, I'm getting carried away. A flatline with a golden magazine felt irresistible at the time, but I had no idea what kind of trouble I was getting myself into by dumping all of that energy ammo. I had separated myself from my squad, and now faced the realization that another squad was full sending my location. Run, Pancake! Run! The enemy team was hot on my heels, and I ran them straight back into my squad. After all, my teammates had handled everything so far. Wraith left me cracked. I stepped back to heal, but then it happened. Both of my teammates were down, and this fight wasn't happening on the edges of the map where we could conclude our violence undisturbed. No, we were on the doorstep of Promenade, where every rotation on Broken Moon converged. If I was going to attempt a rescue, it would have to be now. Pathfinder was on his feet. I turned to face the enemy, only to find out that I should have really kept the nemesis. With my down teammates watching, I felt the desire to prove myself bubble up inside me. I couldn't falter now, I hadn't done anything. I was the guy you scream at when the match was thrown. I promised myself right then and there that I'd rescue my down teammates, no matter what. Okay, not Crypto, but Pathy for sure. I'm coming for you, buddy. But I wasn't out of danger yet, and I was beginning to lose hope. But every once in a while, the matchmaker smiles down on you and hands you the solution to all your problems.
Airstrike!
Gibby threw down his ultimate in a stupendous and extremely convenient display of cacophony that would distract my pursuers. What are you waiting for, Thirsty? Grab Pathy and let's go! Fearing that our respawn was going to elicit the gaze of the malintended, I dropped Pathy in my 301 as the ring closed and armed myself with a Peacekeeper. The faint sounds of a zip rail sent a shiver down my spine, and I released another ultimate in a desperate plea for a little more time. As we fled the scene of the res beacon towards the care package, the matchmaker seemed to intervene again. Our little tango with Octane brought the storm to our doorstep, and our hunters had returned. Pathfinder paid the price and returned to the lobby for another— Oh my god, Pathy, you're still here? With Pathy's banner in tow, the map revealed that this rescue mission was going to be tricky, and both of our lives would be in jeopardy. The echoes of gunfire cascaded around our rendezvous at the respawn beacon. I held my breath, knowing that our chances of survival were slim, and this was most certainly our last chance. Come on. The fighting had subsided momentarily, and the sound of the respawn beacon only served to reignite the conflict. Pathy was back, but the minor details surrounding loot, and more specifically firepower, remained. This ultimate would have to keep our enemies occupied and mask the sounds of our looting while we scuttled our way to the abandoned black market. Finally, some heavy ammo. That'll do it. Maybe one more. Reunited with my teammate, we began to look for an opportunity to cripple one of the 3 remaining enemy squads, and our opportunity came sooner than we expected. Just a solo Bangalore. Maybe our luck was changing. I probably should have checked how many squads were left, because our commotion brought in the third party. Come on, shield swap! Shield swap! We had come this far, even though we chased our tails for half the match. At this point, I felt like the only sensible response was to send. Rampart and Watson were well barricaded, but that wasn't going to be enough. Not today.